Hi, it's Kelly at Book and Paper Arts, and today I have part 2 of a video showing new layouts in my latest altered book with a floral theme. I have spent an absurd amount of time this morning with bees. I found these in another nature guide and had such high hopes, but they're really too big. There's this one guy on his own, and I kind of do like that, especially since he's going in the same direction. It's as if they're all joining these guys. I also have this that I trimmed. I showed it yesterday. Now I've trimmed it, and it's making kind of a garland of bees. And it also adds movement. But you know what? All I know is that as much as I like this, every time I take it away, I like it better. So I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm not going to glue down and commit to anything just yet. What I am thinking is that I might take the bees and go to a subsequent layout. Maybe here. This is a pocket. And I could put that here and work it into whatever this is going to be. And that would bring the theme of bees, which are integral to the story of flowers, through subsequent layouts. I do want to add some color here. I'm pretty sure this is gorse. We have a lot of gorse near where I live, and it's beautiful. It's yellow, and it just covers a whole hill. It's really something to see. But here's the deal. I already leaned into the yellow in the previous page, and I don't want to just be too... It would be one thing if it was later on in the book, but that's too close. Then I thought about making them blue. And but the flower on the next one is blue. So I'm going to squinch my eyes up and pretend that these are foxgloves. And I'm going to make them a kind of a foxglove pink and see what happens. I'm not going to try to hit every bloom. That's not the point. I just want to add a little bit of color for pop. That's looking good, and I'm going to leave it for now. Here's the second layout that I started yesterday, and I now know where the garland of bees is going to go. Here. So we now know what this guy is so interested in. I had meant to add color to this the same way to these dog roses, but I'm going to let the beauty and the drama of the engraving speak for itself. But I am going to actually double down on the black and white. I'm doing that by taking a charcoal pencil, and I've gone around the edge, all of the edges of this torn border here. Hey, look, it's a smudging tool. I don't like that thing. Instead, I'm gonna just do this. And now we've got some shadow. It's also pushing that piece right back in there and giving me a little bit more of that peeling wallpaper look that I really like. I like that. I'm going to start one more layout so that it can be drying overnight while I work on another project. I want to add a transparent page to this book. I'm going to add a flower that I printed on acetate. This is a technique that I have used in making children's board books, but I have not made one or shown one in a long time. So we're going to see how it works in this book. A couple of days ago, I showed a new haul of vintage books. One of them was Familiar Wildflowers. And two of the plates were of this. One was of a daisy, one was of this poppy. So I took them home and I scanned them. These are printable scans, and they are on my website, and they are free. If you would like these to use in your own piece, I have a link to that in the text below this video. So then I just loaded the sheet of acetate into my printer, and it worked a treat. If you want to print images on acetate sheets, it is very important that you have the right kind. They might have this at office supply stores. They might have it at craft stores. I'm not sure. I get mine online. But you have to buy one that specifically says it has a rough side. Now, this side is shiny and smooth, but if you could feel this side here, it has a very, very slight sandy abrasive quality. That is going to hold your ink. If you just buy plain old shiny acetate on both sides, your ink is going to wipe right off and you will be unhappy. I like this daisy a lot, but I don't think it's strong enough to stand up to the text, so I will be using it in something else. How I'm going to put this in here as a page is I'm going to trim this sheet so that it fits the book. Then I'm going to take these two sections. Usually when I make a section in an altered book, I'm going with 5 or 6 pages glued together for a nice, substantial substrate. Here I have 2 mini sections. They're 3 pages each, so they're pretty thin. I'm going to cut a hole, a box-shaped hole in both, and then glue the acetate in there and see what happens. Now I remember why I don't make board books as much as I used to. Cutting holes in sections is hard. So now I have my sections with my thing, and I'm going to glue this all together. I'm going to do it off camera because I'm going to be gluing 3 things together, trying to make this all line up, and it is very fiddly. I want to be able to focus and concentrate without worrying about whether I'm in focus. But I'll talk you through it. I'm going to take my glue. I'm using a gel medium. This is a gel matte medium. You could also use a craft glue or Mod Podge or even a glue stick. I'm going to add glue to both insides here. Taking care, you need to use as much as you need to get a good seal, but on the edges that are closest to where the acetate print is going to go, be sure and use the least amount that you can get away with, because when the pieces are all brought together and squished, sometimes some glue will come out on the edges. That's not a problem if you are working with paper. You can always take a wet kitchen towel and get rid of it. But if it gets on that acetate, it is going to make a lot of itself. So be very sparing with the glue on the edge closest to the print. When I have my glue there, I'm going to add the print. Very carefully line everything up. Close it like this. Make sure it all lines up, and then I'm going to put some greaseproof paper or wax paper on either side, close it, and weight it down and let it dry. Before I do any of that, I think I'm going to ink up my edges here. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking a blending tool and an ink pad. I'm just going to add a little bit here, just to make it pop around the clear sides. All right, I'm going to go around, do it all the way around here, all the way around on the outside. Then I'm going to glue it together and show you what it looks like. Now I have finished this layout. This one, boy, I really like this one. It makes me happy. And I've started this one. I do not know what's going to go on these pages on either side, but what I'm going to have here is, this is its own page. Plus, it is very much going to affect what happens on either facing page, because it will be contributing to how that looks. Join me in a few days when I figure out what's going here. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below in the feedback. YouTube will like me better if you do. Until next week, I hope that everybody has a creative and a meaningful weekend. Bye.